Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cupid Parasite. We finally got into Ryuki's route.
おばあさま、どうしてそこは違う色の糸を使うの？
So we finally got into Ryuki's route, and now we can figure out what the heck is going on at Cupid Corp. Because everyone quit, and except for the president, because he can't quit, figuratively speaking. But yeah. And so I was looking at Ryuki's route, and it is long. Mostly because I think there's a lot of bad ends as well. Like there's three bad ends, and half of the choices that I'm looking at is almost as long as the route itself. So we're going to go back and like re-choose everything here to get to all the bad ends. So there's a best end, there's a normal end, and three bad ends. So yeah, let's get started. So we got a lot of reading to do.
龍騎、今なんて？あなたはこれが違う色に見えるの？
だってそっちの糸は灰色だけど、ここだけ紫でしょ？どうして変えたの？
よくこれが紫だと分かったわね。大抵のデザイナーはこれを灰色だというわ。違いにすら気づかない。どうやらお前は色に対してシビアな目を持っているよね。そういえば、この間絵本を読みながら、文字の色が赤だの青だのと言っていたかしら。
うん、この絵本は赤く見える文字が多くて好き。
この絵本の文字はどれも黒のはずなのに、龍騎は文字に色が見える。共感覚ということね。
おばあさま？
龍騎、明日から私のアトリエへいらっしゃい。私自らデザイナーの極意を叩き込んであげましょう。
Ryuki has a gift. Very good. Then we'll move forward with our standard plan. I'll draw up the contract right away.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Great, just leave everything to me. Parasite House is finished and I'm back to my usual duties. I spent all day signing up new members and preparing to help them find true love. Must be a lot easier than before. Phew, everything is going well. I could have 3 new marriage proposals on the horizon. The Parasite 5 canceled the membership, so a promotion is out of the picture, but if I work hard, I'm sure I'll get another chance. I thought the president said you've earned it. When I got back to my desk, she was flapping around in the air. After a moment, he came to rest on my shoulder. I grabbed him and started pushing him into my shoulder to give myself a nice massage. What do other people think when you, like, do random hand motions around your shoulder? Because he's invisible, right? In his struggle to get loose, he unleashed a jolt of energy that helped relax my muscles. Ah, that feels nice. This makes me feel like I really am back. I didn't really have any time to give him proper attention while I was at the Parasite House. Parasite House and the Parasite 5. Out of curiosity, I glanced at the profile sheets for the Parasite 5 again. Cupid Corp's most frustrating members, the Lovelorn Parasite, the Prestige Parasite, the Obsessed Parasite, and the Thieving Parasite. And of course Ryuki Keisaiin, the Glamour Parasite. He was the one I really wanted to teach the meaning of love to. He wouldn't recognize it if it was standing right in front of him. Of course, maybe if a truly perfect woman appeared before him, that might be enough to convince him. After all, he judges everything by their visual appeal, so that could be totally possible. When it comes to love style typology, he's definitely Eros. Love is all about physical attraction for him. But I just wish he could learn what actual true love is all about. If people really aren't interested in love or don't understand it, that's fine, but in the end, I'm Cupid, the goddess of love. I just want people to know the joy and happiness that comes from love and to embrace it fully. I just want to prove that anyone can find true love without having to rely on the gods and show Dad just how wrong he is. But now that Ryuki has left the company, I'm not exactly in a position to give him any more advice. Oh, how annoying. But I need to get ready to meet my next appointment. I placed the profile sheets back into the folder and adjusted my focus back to the work at hand. It's my job to help people who are actually looking for help, who have come to me to find love and get married. As I was lost in thought, I received an email. It was a report that 2 of my clients, Bob and Jesse, were going to get married. Congratulations on the big news.
ありがとうございます。
本当にありがとうございます。ボブと出会えたのは的確なあなたのアドバイスのおかげです。
本当、アドバイザーさんのおかげですね。今までの僕じゃジェシーみたいなタイプとまず会ってみようって思わなかったですから。
I'm very honored to hear you say that. Seeing members I've spent so much time with find the perfect partner and sharing their joys makes all my efforts worthwhile.
やっぱ一人じゃ視野が狭くなってダメね。大事なのは中身。それが分かって本当に良かったわ。
そうですね。僕も最初はわがまま言ってアドバイザーさんを困らせてましたっけ。ケイサインの良さをわからない人とは結婚できないとか言って、いや、視野が狭かったです。
Keisaiin is a fashion brand originally created by Ryuki's own grandmother, who's a very successful designer. I remember his preference very well, since that caused all kinds of trouble on every date I sent him on. That's all he ever talked about. He'd even bring a catalog along with him, asking his dates to wear this or that. Really? But after countless conversations and plenty of polite but firm advice, he finally decided to reconsider his way of thinking. It's okay to be passionate, but you can't force your passion on others. Everyone has their own values and interests. If you're willing to ease up on your own passions a bit, you open up options and get more chances to develop deeper bonds. Ultimately, he found his true love, and as Cupid, there's no greater joy for me than seeing 2 people in love getting married. At first I thought they were still talking about Ryuki until they said this, and I'm like, he's not in love. They switched people on me. Now then, let me tell you a little bit about our wedding ceremony options. I was happily telling them about our wedding plans, which were a major reason we were so popular among the people of Lost York. And of course we offer a special discount if you let us plan the marriage and a full wedding ceremony.
へえ、他の結婚式場に比べてこんなにお得なんですね。
ウェディングドレスも式場も可愛いし、ここにしたいわ。お客さん呼ぶにも7番街なら来てもらいやすいしね。
そうだね。式場見学させてもらってもいいですか？
Of course, let me introduce you to one of our wedding planners who can explain all the details for each of your packages.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
I found an available planner to help them out, then made my way back to my desk. Great. From our first encounter to your final vows, just like our slogan promises. And once the wedding is finished, my mission is complete. I heard the meeting room door open and looked over to see a couple and their planner coming out. That couple.
ではお次は結婚式場のご案内をさせていただきますね。
楽しみだわ。
その後は1階のウェディングドレスコーナーへとご案内させていただきます。試着はご予約制となっておりまして。
ケイサインのタキシード、奇跡的にあったりしないかな。
Bob and Jesse were clearly lost in their shared fantasy as they made their way into the elevator. After watching them go, I turned towards my PC. As far as I know, we actually don't have any Keisaiin tuxedos. Bob really is a hardcore Keisaiin fan. If possible, I'd love to get him that tuxedo to wear on his big day. I wonder if I can place an order. Oh, is this how you get in touch with him? I decided to see if I can find any options online. After a bit of searching, I discovered that Keisaiin didn't actually make tuxedos. I bet Ryuki does. I see. I guess that's what Bob meant when he said it would be a miracle if we had one. Suddenly, the phone on my desk started to ring. The display listed it as an internal company extension. Yes, this is Miss Mirror.
ああ、すみません。ちょっと無茶なお願いなんですが、いいですか？
Really? It was the same wedding planner I'd just given Bob and Jesse's wedding to. A difficult request.
それがボブ様がケイサインのタキシードをどうしても着たいっておっしゃってまして。うちに置いていない以前にそもそも存在してないでしょ？だからお断りしたんだけど、諦めきれないようで。
I bet she's gonna have like a custom made one from Ryuki or
あ
something.
なた、ケイサインのデザイナーさんのお孫さんと知り合いよね。
Oh, well, sort of, I guess.
パラサイトハウスで共演してたでしょ？それをお客様が覚えていて。
She explained what he had in mind. He assumes I can get in touch with Ryuki and wants me to ask him if there's any chance of making a Keisaiin tuxedo. And he says that if they really have no plan of ever making a tuxedo, he'll drop the whole thing.
無茶なお願いなのは分かっているわ。でも、納得しないまま選んだタキシードじゃお客様も満足できないと思うの。
I'm sure you're right about that. Well, let me see what I can do. I had a feeling that talking to Ryuki wouldn't do much good, but I have to do everything I can for our members. After all, there's nothing more gratifying than seeing the joy on their faces their wedding day. To be safe, I asked my supervisor if I could contact someone who left the company. They said it was okay this one time. Okay, let me send a message really quick. I decided to lead off with a casual message, then ease my way into the main subject. Oh, that was quick. Wait, he didn't actually reply to my casual message. He just... Perfect timing. Come to Lost Yard Park right now. That's funny. Right now? For some reason, he just said he'd like to meet up with me out of nowhere. But this would be my chance to ask him if they were ever planning on making a tuxedo, so I quickly sent back a reply and mentally prepared myself to see him again. He seems very eager. We decided to meet in Lost Yard Park. I spotted him in the distance, Ryuki in the flesh, decked out as some stylish sportswear. Long time no see, Ryuki. So, what's with the sporty look?
ヨガウェアね。次の仕事の試作品。ほら、あんたはこれ着て。
Does he want you to try on like the female version? Huh? Me?
そのウェアと並んで似合う男性用ヨガウェアをって発注なんだ。ほら、早く着て。
He just wants you to try out something. Huh? He tossed me some clothes, then shoved me towards a tent that he must have set up himself as an impromptu changing room. That's funny. I had no idea what was going on, but I decided to just go with it and put it on. What do you think?
なるほど。そういう感じね。
Is that clips in his hair? That's actually kind of cute. What's he mean? I see. I figured he'd hit me with another jab if I reacted, so I decided to just keep it quiet. At least he was willing to talk to me and acknowledge my existence, which meant he didn't think I was completely hideous. No, he gave you a color at the beginning, and it was like red or fuchsia or something. But his outfit doesn't seem like it matches mine at all. In fact, they seem like polar opposites. He's going to need to make some major adjustments if he wants them to match. Not that I'd ever be stupid enough to share my opinion with the world-famous Ryuki. I'm sure he has his own ideas and plans in mind. But he must have noticed me silently comparing our clothes since I heard him let out a heavy sigh.
じゃあ、次はあそこに混ざりに行くよ。
He pointed towards the group of women wearing a variety of yoga clothes.
屋外ヨガイベント。あんたの分も申し込んでおいたから。
He's enrolled you for today. You want me to do yoga?
そう。ヨガウェアを作るの初めてだから、動いて機能性を試さないと実用的かわからないでしょ。はあ、一人参加や男性もいるって書いてあったから申し込んだのに、全くいないし。
Are you embarrassed? I see you slightly blushing. I wonder if he was too embarrassed to join by himself. Is that why you're there? Ryuki quickly turned away from me, but not before I noticed him starting to blush. He could have just told me he wanted someone to come with him. But I guess he's not really good at asking people for favors. So he found out there wouldn't be any other guys here and decided he needed a girl to join him so he didn't look weird, which would explain why he responded to my message so fast. Working on a special order, I thought he only worked on what he wanted to work on, but I guess that's not always true. I'm still amazed how successful he's been as a designer at just 19 years old. I stole another look at his outfit and he responded with his trademark scornful look.
Nani?
Oh, I was just thinking how incredible it is that you're already such a good designer.
別にこれぐらい誰でもできる。それよりあんたこそ何なのそれ。
Huh? I told him I had in confusion and he suddenly hit me with some kind of spray. What the? You're not keeping up with your facial stuff.
乾燥しすぎ。髪も全然お手入れできてないじゃん。僕のアドバイス忘れたの？
No, you're just not there anymore. Why would she need to keep up appearances?
姿勢も悪いし、どうせデスクワークのしすぎで猫背になってるんでしょ。ヨガすれば多少はマシになるんじゃない？
He still refuses to hold anything back. Ryuki is the glamour parasite, looks mean everything to him, so he's dead honest when it comes to outward appearance. If only he wasn't so blunt about it, then again I guess it's better to know what he's thinking than not. Maybe that kind of brutal honesty is a kind of blessing in disguise. Or maybe not.
ほら、行くよ。
Ryuki took my hand and dragged me towards the yoga gathering. I grabbed a spare yoga mat and found an open area to start getting ready. Before long, the event began.
はーい。では息を吸って、上に気持ちよく伸びていきます。これは太陽礼拝といって、疲労回復の他にストレス解消の効果もありますよ。
Wow, this actually feels really good.
ヨガってこういう動きなんだ。
I looked over and saw Ryuki doing the pose with a stone-cold serious look on his face. When we lived together, he would always stretch before bed, but I guess that's not the same thing as proper yoga. He was looking himself over to see how the yoga outfit moved along with his pose.
ここが引きつれてるな。もう少し伸縮性がある生地の方がいいか。
He's so serious about seeing exactly how the clothes react. Ryuki followed the instructor's orders to the letter and took detailed notes with each movement. Suddenly, he put his notepad down. Apparently, he had all the info he needed and was ready to focus on the yoga itself.
ピラティスは経験あったけど、呼吸法を大切にするヨガは痩せやすい体作りにいいかもね。またやろうかな。
A rare observation from the glamour parasite, I stared at him, and he suddenly turned his attention to me. What? Huh? What now? His eyes peering directly at me started to make me nervous. I could feel my heart starting to race. But it wasn't a romantic thing, more like fear of him laying into me. Am I doing the wrong pose? Or maybe it's my posture. I just kept trying to do my best to follow the instructor's directions, stand on one foot, and stretch to the sky. But he just kept staring at me, observing every tiny movement. Is he gonna help you? Oh my goodness.
下を向いた時にそういう形になるんだ。なるほどね。
I don't think you should be touching that lady like that. He was just watching me do the poses. Ryuki, actually it was like he didn't see me at all. He was focused completely on the yoga clothes. He was standing so close to me, staring intently at the seams with every movement I made. And putting his hands very close.
こんなダサい服と並ぶ服を作れって言われて、おばあ様の紹介じゃなきゃ断るところだったけど。
I thought you don't even make women's clothes.
なるほど。こういうポーズをするから余裕を持ったシルエットってわけか。それでいてずり落ちないようになってる。
have everything stay in place. Is he talking about what I think he is?
レディースはやっぱメンズと全然違うな。うんうん。
Oh my
ヨ
goodness.
ガウェアなんて今まで興味もなかったし作ったことなかったけれど割と奥が深いな。
I'm sorry, but if he kept staring at me like that, it'd be so awkward.
僕のウェアも調整が必要みたいだね。そうだな。オーガニックコットンを使って。
I'm glad he's so serious about his work, but
ちょっと手を挙げて。
I think I'm supposed to be stretching out my leg for this pose.
いいから。
Ryuki nonchalantly ordered me to change my pose over and over again. I wasn't doing yoga anymore, now I was acting as his own living mannequin. It was like a game Claris and I played back in college where you spun the arrow and had to place your hands and feet. That's called Twister.
へえ。あんた体柔らかいんだ。じゃあ次はこのポーズで。
Ryuki, I'm not sure it's a great idea to keep changing my pose like this.
実際にヨガにあるやつだから大丈夫。
Sure, but that's not... The whole thing was super awkward, especially now that everyone else seemed to be staring at us. And Ryuki touching me all over the place was starting to get kind of ticklish too. I would be more concerned with the touching part than being ticklish, but okay. But with how serious he was taking this whole thing, I didn't have the heart to just tell him to get away from me. Why
次
not?
は足を伸ばして仰向けの姿勢になります。そこの元気なカップルさんもね。
Now they're gonna get mistaken for as a couple, huh? I looked around to find the young couple when I noticed the instructor was looking directly at us. Couple? Us? This is so embarrassing. Did you hear that, Ryuki? I need to change my position, so...
動かないで。今縫い目見てるから。
Ryuki!
ほら彼氏さん、彼女さんが困ってますよ。
He probably doesn't even see her.
は？彼氏？
You actually heard her, so she's not some black haze. Look at that face. Look at his attention. It was enough to finally get Ryuki to respond to the instructor's voice. He looked around and noticed everyone else staring at us. Suddenly his face turned bright red.
あの子彼女に夢中になっててかわいい。顔も赤くなってる。初々しいね。
僕は別に。バカじゃないの。仕事だからこんなの。
Do you really hear what every girl is saying? Ryuki's face got even redder and he quickly let go of my hand. He looked like he was about to turn around and sprint away. You should just finish the yoga poses. You still need to see how they all affect the outfit, right?
わかってるよ。やるよ。当たり前でしょ。
Just not out here.
では次は仰向けのポーズです。続けてくださいね。
Ryuki frowned as he lay down on his yoga mat to do as the instructor said. But it wasn't long before Ryuki was back up, ignoring the instructor and checking every inch of my outfit. Wow, that was fast, actually. Dang. Well, I guess it was about 30 minutes. Eventually, we finished the yoga session. I changed right afterwards, but Ryuki was still wearing his yoga outfit. I guess he really wanted to put it through its paces. Lots of folks in Lost York go shopping or eat after working out, so it's not strange to see people in sports clothes in public.
それで、用って何？ 1時間後には店に行く予定があるから手短にね。
Ryuki gave me a long stare as he sipped on his espresso. I guess since I was willing to help him out for his yoga research, he was willing to listen to what I had to say. Well, for one thing, I just thought I should check to see how you were doing lately.
別に前置きとかいいから。どうせおばあ様のケイサイン関係とかなんじゃないの？
He read my mind. He knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. Maybe he's used to people coming to ask him the same kind of thing. Well, 2 of our members just got engaged and one of them is hardcore Keisaiin fan. In fact, his one wish is to get married in an authentic Keisaiin tuxedo. He said he'd even be willing to push back the date if there were any plans to release one in the future. So, you wouldn't happen to know if Keisaiin was planning to do anything like that, would you?
さあね。僕にはおばあ様の考えはわからない。作る予定があったとしても途中でなくなることも多いし。
Scrap it.
流通の問題や布の問題もあるし、おばあ様が最後に NG を出したりもある。満足いくものしか世に出さないから。
I see.
それにおばあ様は日本にいるし、結局僕が知るのは大抵メディアでの発表時。他の客と変わらないよ。
It just knows that Ryuki's hair was tied back in the back. It looks really cute. That's right, I forgot that the brand is based in Japan. It's easy to forget since it appears in Paris collections so much and is so popular here in Los York. If she spends all her time working in Japan, it's only natural he wouldn't know what's going on. I guess asking Ryuki to ask his grandmother might be a little too much. Even if he was willing to do it, it's hard to bring myself to ask. I always assumed Ryuki and his grandmother were close, but from the way he's describing things, I guess that's not the case. He used to talk about his grandmother all the time, but I guess they have more of a professional relationship.
僕たちデザイナーは作りたいものしか作らない。誰かに頼まれたから作るわけじゃない。おばあ様も同じこと言うと思うよ。
Really? But your yoga outfit.
おばあ様が勉強のためにって言ったんだ。ただそれだけ。一流のデザイナーになるためには何でも作れるようにならないといけないらしいから。
That's cute. He looks a little embarrassed, but at the same time annoyed because he got tasked with a job. I see.
あれ、アドバイザーさん？
Oh, hey, it's him. I think they skipped a word. The door to the cafe opened, and in walked Jesse and Bob, the very one who was hoping for a tuxedo from Keisaiin. Oh, hello there. Are you finished with your wedding arrangements?
はい、とても素敵な式になりそうで楽しみです。
I'm very glad to hear that.
でもいっぱい話して疲れたんで、ここでお茶してこうと思って。って、そっちにいらっしゃるのはデザイナーKeisaiin F. Ryuki?
Master designer.
誰？
Who is this? Oh, this is Bob, that massive Keisaiin fan I was telling you about earlier, and his fiancée Jessie.
524E4D
I need to open Photoshop and find out what this is. Unless she's going to tell me. Are you going to tell me? What color is he referring to now? I quietly looked up the color, which turned out to be called Keshizumi Cinder, a pretty awful name if you ask me.
パラサイトハウス見てましたよ。Keisaiinさん、ストイックでかっこよかった。さすがKeisaiinのりえの孫。
It's like the same colors as always. Oh. Even uglier than... It's like... It's like light gray. There we go. And that's the color that he said that she is. I guess it's her. I don't know.
普段Keisaiinの服しか着ないって決めてるんで、龍騎の服は買ったことないんですが、ファンになりました。
He's like breathing out his nose at him. Yikes, this is not going well.
それでアドバイザーさんどうですか？Keisaiinはタキシード作る予定あるって分かりました？
Huh? Oh, well, no, they don't have anything planned as far as we know.
ああ、そうですか。残念だ。せっかくの結婚式だからKeisaiinのタキシードを着たかったんだけどな。
He turned to look at Ryuki.
そうだ、Keisaiinさん、僕にタキシードを作ってください。
は？僕が作ってもそれはKeisaiinじゃないけど。僕はKeisaiinブランドの名前使えないし、自分の作りたいものしか。
Keisaiinの家の人が作ってくれたものなら何でもいいですよ。
は？
I could practically feel the temperature in the cafe drop by 10 degrees. What? Uh-oh.
ケイサインの名前がついてれば誰が作ってもいいってわけ。サルーキーの神楽でも。
サルーキーって？
犬よ犬、犬種の名前よ。
ケイサインが好きだって？はっ、ろくにコーディネートもできず自分に合ったサイズすら着れない男が。
Uh-oh.
シャツの色と靴の色が致命的に合ってない。サイズ感も最悪。ケイサインが好きなら適正サイズに体型絞れば？それすらできないの？
Wow.
ヘアカラーだって服に合ってない。奇抜にすればいいとでも思ってる？バカにしてる。ケイサインはハイブランドだ。それ相応の身だしなみと品格を得てから着るべきだよ。あんたなんかに僕の作った服は着せない。タキシードを作るなんてもってのほかだ。
Wow. Ryuki stared hard at Bob as he stood up. Ryuki.
あんたには安物のタキシードがお似合いだ。龍騎の服を買ったことないって？こっちからお断りだよ。
Dang. He left. We just stared as he stormed out and slammed the door behind him. What's he so angry about? After a few seconds, Bob's shoulders started to shake.
かっこいい。
Oh my goodness. I knew it. I knew it. He was just gonna be like, wow.
今の聞いたかい？まさしくあれこそデザイナーだよ。クール、最高、ブラボー。いやでもケイサインの人なら誰でもいいなんてまずいこと言っちゃったな。さすがに失礼だったよね。
当たり前じゃない。バカねボブ。いつもうっかり失礼なんだから。
Oh, I guess that's why he was mad. He's like, I don't care if you make it or not, you're related to her. He wants you to appreciate his stuff, not just make him something because you're related.
ついあのケイサインのりえの孫を見たらテンション上がっちゃってね。いや、やっちゃったな。
Ryuki was genuinely angry this time. I should go and apologize to him. I'm the one who asked him about Keisaiin's plan without considering how that might make him feel. I should really go after him. I'm sorry, but I need to get going too.
あ、はい。ケイサインのこと聞いてくれてありがとうございました。でも孫でも知らないってことはケイサインはやっぱりタキシード作らないんだな。
Hearing how sad the news made him, I quickly stepped in. And well, all he said was that he doesn't know anything that hasn't already been announced to the media. He mentioned that sometimes they might be working on something and just decide to put a stop to it. It's funny, like every time I do one of these Cupid Parasite videos, my same friend always comes online. It's kind of funny.
え、そうなの？そっか。ケイサインのりえ厳しそうだもんな。こうなったら神頼みだ。神様、仏様、キューピッド様、どうかケイサインがタキシード出してくれますように。
Hi, Cupid.
なんでキューピッド？
結婚式だから？
In that case, I feel like praying to Juno would be better. After all, Juno is the goddess of marriage. Cupid is just the harbinger of love. But for some reason, the human world seems to know more about Cupid than Juno. Anyway, I need to go find Ryuki and apologize to him for me and for Bob. He mentioned that he had to head to his boutique in an hour, so I could probably find him there. Well, if you'll excuse me.
あ、はい。
あのデザイナーさんに会ったら私たちの分も謝っておいてください。ボブは本当にすみません。
It's all his fault. Of course, I'll take care of it. I gave a quick bow and headed out to the cafe. I dusked behind me and saw the happy couple pull out a pamphlet and excitedly started looking through it. Seventh Avenue. After leaving Happy Forest Cafe, I headed straight to Ryuki's boutique, Ryuki. I recalled that it was on 7th Avenue, so I passed Cupid Corp and tried to remember exactly where the store was. Eventually, I turned a corner and there it was, Ryuki. Hello?
いらっしゃいませ。
I took a tentative step inside, but I didn't see Ryuki anywhere. I guess he's not here yet. I took a look around the store, and a few pieces in particular caught my attention. So Ryuki designed everything in here, huh? Everything was very chic, combining traditional Japanese patterns with modern Lost York design aesthetic. It was all men's clothes, so I couldn't wear anything here, but I'd definitely be interested in women's versions.
何かお探しですか？
A staff member had appeared from the back. Oh, is Mr. Keisaiin available? I was hoping to speak with him.
デザイナーに。
何しに来たの？
Out of nowhere, Ryuki also appeared from the back. He shot me an icy gaze. The glare was so cold, I thought I'd freeze right there on the spot. Yep, Ryuki was definitely angry. And we're going to apologize. Don't beat around the bush. He wasn't like that at all. I let out a sigh of relief. At least he was willing to come out and see me. I bowed as a way to begin my apology. I just wanted to apologize for earlier. I'm really sorry for being rude. It was wrong of me to come to you just because she's your grandmother. Really, I am sorry. I bowed again, but when I looked back up, he had a look of surprise on his face.
なんであんたが謝るわけ？
Well, I was the one that brought it up, so... Oh, and of course my clients asked me to apologize for them too. They realized that they were asking for too much.
そう。でも、別にあんたには怒ってない。
Just them. Yay, that was the right one.
あの男はムカつくけど。でも、少し言い過ぎた。自分でも八つ当たりだったと思うし。
Spite? He quickly shifted his gaze away from me. It seemed like he immediately regretted what he had said.
僕は、ケイサインブランドで服を作ることを許されてないから。
He had a look of frustration on his face as he spoke. He squinted his eyes and stared out the store window as if perhaps trying to see his grandmother in Japan.
デザインがいくら書いてもうちでは出せないって却下されて、それで自分のブランドを作った。でも隆起でケイサインの名前を出すなって言われて、パラサイトハウスで名前出したせいでちょっとバレたけどさ、結局公式発表も何もなかった。多分おばあ様は僕の隆起デザインはケイサインとして認められないって思ってる。だから僕が作ってもそれはケイサインじゃない。それなのにあの男はケイサインの名前なら誰でもいいって言った。だから。
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Anyone with the Keisaiin name is good enough for him, but it's not good enough for his grandmother, which really upset him. Without warning, Ryuki snaps out of his rant. He quickly shifted his gaze away from me. It seemed like he immediately regretted what he had said.
とにかくケイサインはタキシードなんて作らないと思うよ。前におばあ様とブライダルの話をした時、うちはやらないって言ってたから。
I know I'm going to enjoy this fruit. He's opening up willingly, like just out of nowhere to her, and he's like, why am I telling you this? It's so adorable.
だからあのケイサインバカには望み薄だって伝えておいて。この話はこれで終わり。僕は仕事に戻るから。
Okay. Ryuki took the papers he'd been holding and placed them on the counter. It was a rough sketch of the men's yoga outfit he'd been working on. Oh, is this the same design from before?
そう。実際にやってみると全然ダメだって分かったから作り直し。
Look at all these different patterns he's sketched. He really is dedicated to his craft. I let my curiosity get the better of me, and Ryuki acted annoyed as usual, but then he looked at me more seriously.
むしろあんたはどれがいい？
Which one? I never would have expected Ryuki to ask for my opinion on something like this. Noticing the surprise on my face, Ryuki blushed just a bit.
今日のヨガイベント、女しかいなかったでしょ。
But is he really making a woman's outfit?
男性ヨガの需要が増えたって言っても、多分そこまでじゃない。なら、女性から見て奇抜じゃない方がいいから。
I guess that makes sense. I see. It's probably pretty common to only see one or two guys at a yoga event, just like with Ryuki today. So it's probably to get a woman's perspective on the design to make sure a guy wouldn't be embarrassed to wear it in front of them. Of course, I'm no professional, but I'm not sure how much my input is worth, but I feel like it's important to tell what I think.
直感でいいよ。一意見として聞きたいだけだから。
Well, in that case, I guess I like the one right here.
このシンプルなやつ？嘘でしょ？何の面白みもないじゃないか。ボツにするつもりだったものだよ。
But the other designs are a little too feminine. They don't really balance against what I was wearing very well.
バランス？
The idea is that they should look as good as a pair, right? But all of these other designs for the guy feel a little too strong. I feel like wearing something that stands out even more than what the girl is wearing might make them both feel kind of awkward. When I reminded him what the actual request was, he groaned and slapped his forehead.
なるほどね。いいデザインならそれでいいってわけじゃないか。確かにね。
Plus, any guy who does yoga probably has a particular interest in health and fitness. Our members who care about that are pretty mindful about how they look and pay extra attention to what they wear. So yoga clothes with a manly touch could work better since the other people might think it looks cool.
ヨガのための機能性よりも男らしいラインが欲しいってことか。じゃあこんなのとかどう？
Ryuki quickly sketched another design. This one did in fact have a more manly feel to it on top of retaining its functionality. Wow, this looks great. I really like it.
なるほどね。ちょっとこの線で考えてみるよ。
This is so cute. They're like designing together now. As he started to gather the various designs to put them back in a folder, one came loose and floated to the floor. Oh? Huh? Is this a woman's outfit? Before I could get a look at it, Ryuki quickly snatched it from my hand.
さっきちょっと思いついたから試しに書いてみただけだよ。
I wonder if the inspiration was her.
うちはレディースは使ってないから実際には作らないけど。
I don't believe you. He crumpled the paper up into a ball before I could try and steal another peek at it. He didn't need to do that. He'll probably get it back out later. Ryuki is a perfectionist, so I guess he didn't want me to see it before it was finished. Ryuki working on a woman's design, I can't help but wonder what he could come up with.
そういえばあんたは普段からヨガやってるの？
Huh? Oh no, not at all. Claris did convince me to try Bikram yoga once, but other than that.
せっかく体柔らかいのにもったいない。ヨガは美容にいいから引き続きやった方がいいよ。
Okay. Going to waste? Was that a compliment? I'm sure that's what he said. I guess that's the closest he can come to praising someone. But with that cold stare of his makes it hard to be sure of anything. We're already in the next section. So, I'll probably keep going just because it's not even an hour yet. So if I can get through 3 of them in like less than half an hour, or sorry, yeah, in less than half an hour each. So that'll be like 3 an episode. So that comes out to be about 5 episodes for Ryuki's route, which is a lot actually, because there's like, what is it, like 7 routes in the common root, so each root is like essentially doubling the common root. And then it's going to be all the endings in one episode as well. So yeah, about 6 episodes for Ryuki's root at least. If the other ones are just as long, then I'll assume it's going to be about the same. Like, puts a little bit of perspective on how many episodes each root's going to be. A few days later, we're on Wedding Collection. I'm interested in this one. I was back at the Cupid Corp office looking at my phone. Specifically, I was doing my daily #Cupid check. Let's see what people are talking about today. Chi folded up to my shoulder and took a peek at my phone. He seemed to enjoy helping me browse through my go-to social media source. I met someone through Cupid Corp and we went to the movies together and had so much fun. #Cupid. Cupid Corp seems better than all of those others, but I still haven't found someone. Getting married is such a pain. The hashtag let me see how people were feeling about us, but then a certain post caught my attention. Keisaiin just announced her bridal collection. I don't care what it takes, I will be wearing that at my wedding. Ooh. Huh? A bridal collection? I checked the post, which had a link to the official Keisaiin website. Front and center was the announcement. They'd been offering a line of bridal clothes, and they had a picture of a row of tuxedos. Wow. Oh, there you go. There's your tuxedo.
Up next is fashion news. Keisaiin presented its first bridal collection, and it's a big topic on social media. Raoul Aikonet was appointed as the model, and expectations for future collections are building up.
We know that guy. I think it's funny they just talk in English.
嘘。
I bet this is like a strange coincidence, huh?
前に僕がタキシードのデザイン画を見せた時、うちはブライダルコレクションは作らないっておばあさんも言ってたのに。
Are they yours or are they hers?
きっと僕のデザインが悪かったからだ。もっと一人前のデザイナーにならなきゃ。おばあ様に認められるようなデザイナーに。
Oh, that's really sad. She doesn't like his tuxedos at all, has no interest in doing a bridal collection, and then he goes out and does it. That make him feel really bad.
やっぱり姉さんの言う通り婚活しなきゃダメなのか。でも
He thinks he just has to get married. You have to learn another emotion. Put your love into your work. As I got off the train and headed for the office, I couldn't stop thinking about Keisaiin's plan to release bridal clothes. I'm sure Bob has already heard the good news, but I should probably shoot him an email just in case. But as it turned out, I wouldn't need to do anything. Bob was standing right there waiting for me.
あ、アドバイザーさん、聞いてくださいよ。ケイサインがタキシードを出すんですって。
Yeah, I saw it on the news. I'm so happy for you. It looks like you can have that Keisaiin tuxedo for your wedding after all.
そうなんですよ。いや、準備期間とか式場の予約日を考えるとちょうどいいタイミングで出るみたいで。今からどのカラーと型を買おうかジェシーと相談してるんです。それが本当に幸せで。いや、やっぱ神様はいるんだな。ありがとう、キューピッド様。
I didn't actually do anything.
ってことで、またウェディングプランナーさんと打ち合わせなんで失礼します。
Bob practically skipped his way into Cupid Corp. After saying goodbye, I headed to my desk. A Keisaiin tuxedo. I checked with the clothing department and they were already working on getting direct access to the brand. Bob will probably just buy his own, but if we can add the Keisaiin brand to our lineup, I'm sure that'll bring in more members. It's one more option to help grooms figure out exactly what they want from their wedding. It's very empowering. Once again, the power from the gods is completely unnecessary for people to fall in love and find happiness. A joyous wedding can come into fruition just by having humans who are willing to help and support each other. And that's one thing gods can't do from so far away. Which is why I need to keep working hard so that Dad will finally see things my way. I got right back to work trying to make as many clothes as possible so that I could earn my promotion and prove my point. I wonder if they ever find out that she's a god. That'd be interesting. I do want to bring people together, but... Oh my gosh, it's her. With the Parasite 5 gone, Catherine was back to working with me, but now she was just staring at me with a smile on her face. So, how about this one?
ピンとこないわ。私もっと隆々とした筋肉でおひげのある殿方が好きなの。
So you're into looks too, huh? Muscles and a beard, huh? Then how about this guy? I showed her one member after another, but each time she simply hummed to herself.
確かに私の好みだわ。でもなんだか嫌な人を思い出して少し腹が立っちゃう。
Someone she loathes? So even though she likes how he looks, going out with him might remind her of someone she dated before. This isn't going to be easy. It doesn't help that I have no way of telling what she's thinking with those giant sunglasses on. But of course it wasn't my place to ask her to take them off.
こう上半身裸のまま歩いてるような人がいいの。筋肉が清楚みたいな感じよ。
Oh my goodness. Muscles like clothes.
パラサイトハウスにいた、なんて言ったかしら。俳優の子も悪くない筋肉だったわ。
Was it Rao or the president? That's the only two I could think of. Are you talking about Rao Aconite?
そうそう、あれもいい筋肉だったわ。でもあのくらいじゃ全然足りないわ。もっとたくましい腕がいいの。
I don't like how she says that. I wonder if any of our members are actually bodybuilders. Oh, we're having a matchmaking party tomorrow. Why don't you sign up for that? It's being sponsored by a local fitness club, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of guys to suit your fancy.
あらそれ面白そうね。参加するわ。
Great, let me just add you to the list.
はーい。真面目で頑張り屋さんね。とっても助かっちゃう。よろしく頼むわね。私のキューピッドさん。
I wonder if she knows that she's really Cupid. I think there's a couple of people who know who she is. Catherine gazed at me happily once again, but her staring through those sunglasses of hers just puts me more on edge. Is there something on my face? Trying to ignore the strange sensation, I went on inputting Catherine's info into my laptop. Oh yeah, there was one incident where during one of her meetings, I think after the Parasite house, or maybe it was during, she felt the presence of a god and she didn't see anyone. So there's someone there, someone fishy there. Probably her. I've never had a member show so much interest in me before, so it's kind of a strange sensation. After a very long day, I was finally able to clock out. As I was leaving the office, I noticed Ryuki peeking into the clothing store on the first floor. What was he doing? Ryuki? You've been caught. He's probably checking out to see if you have any of her clothes in your store. Actually, no, you wouldn't. You're a wedding store, but yeah. Oh, maybe he's checking out your tuxedos. He spun towards my voice and immediately looked uncomfortable seeing me there.
なんだ、あんたか。
Were you looking at our selection of dresses?
たまたま通りかかったから。
Is there really dresses in there? Is that what he's looking at? I wonder if you came here after seeing the news about Keisaiin's bridal collection. Seeing him there like that, it made me wonder if he really did have an interest in getting married after all. Aw. If the way he expressed that is through dresses and tuxedos, that's fine. It might be just the catalyst he needs, in fact. Oh, I get a choice. I'll show him around. Go on, head inside and look around.
は？でも僕は。
It's fine. You're doing research, right? It's fine. There's nothing wrong in looking at your competition. You can only see so much from out here, right? You've never actually been inside, have you?
まあ
He still looked pretty hesitant. Well, it is a dress store after all. Women and couples that were the only ones likely to stop by. It would be pretty odd for a guy to visit by himself. Ryuki specifically invited me to that yoga event because he didn't want to go alone too. For someone who has no problem telling others what he's thinking at all times, he's actually pretty shy. Since I'm an advisor here, if I go with you, then you can spend as long as you want inside. Sound good? Ryuki was silent. After several moments, he finally nodded in agreement. Oh, look at that face. He's so happy. That's cute. Oh, that's very girly.
え
Ryuki looked around the boutique with obvious interest.
普通のドレスやメイク道具まで売ってるんだ。
That's right. Lots of members are busy with work, so they like to stop here right before our events to get ready. Next to our wedding selection, we've got matching party dresses, an entire corner dedicated to makeup and accessories. Since so many members come here directly from work, we made it easy as possible for them to come here, get ready, and go. Super fast. Just noticed that my desktop audio is down a lot. I hope they haven't been too quiet. I'll check it here in a second. Let's see.
ふーん
Ryuki looked over at the dresses, then made his way over to the tuxedo selection. He took his time looking over the selection, probably because his experience wasn't entirely in men's clothing.
このタキシードなんだ生地の加工がうまいな。ジョーゼットの二重折りか
I don't know why my desktop audio was down. Oh, dang it. I turned it down because of the last recording of Code Realize. The music in the beginning of the game is super loud. Means I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing to raise the volume to make it hearable.
パターンも悪くない。ま、この形の良さが出るように着こなせる人はいないだろうけど。
Perfect body.
何これタキシードのくせにサルエルパンツ誰だよこんなの考えたの性格悪そうなデザイナーだな
Ryuki kept mumbling to himself as he looked around, his eyes glittering with passion. He really is into clothes, isn't he? I smiled at his infectious enthusiasm. He may get irritated easily, but when it comes to fashion, his devotion is obvious. Still, I'm sure the only reason he came here in the first place was because he saw the news.
とにかくケイサインはタキシードなんて作らないと思うよ前におばあ様とブライダルの話をした時うちはやらないって言ってたから
He says that, but the fact is, Keisaiin did announce their intent to release a bridal collection. Which is exactly why Ryuki is here right now. Ryuki and his grandma, I really can't tell if they get along or not. It's clear that she takes up a lot of space in his mind, so I can't help but be curious about it. It must be hard for her to live a normal life as a world-famous designer too. As I pondered Ryuki's situation, he stopped taking notes and let out a little sigh.
ありがとう大体わかったじゃあそろそろ帰るよ
Okay, feel free to stop by again anytime.
うんそれより
Oh. Ryuki looked straight at me. Then he strutted over, stood directly in front of me, and looked down at me. Is something wrong?
それあんたの仕事着だよね
Yes, it is. Why do you ask?
全然メイクが合ってない服の色考えて選ばなかったの
You're just now noticing that this is what she wears to work? How long have you worked with her? What? Seriously?
一応前より肌のコンディションは悪くないけど選んだ色が最悪僕が買ってあげたアイシャドウを使ってるでしょ
It's so cute the way he fusses over her. Actually, I am. I really like it, so... I didn't want the makeup he bought me to go to waste, so I've been trying to put it to good use.
バカなの？着る服に合わせて選ばなきゃダメでしょ。
He just called me stupid. As depression settled over me, Ryuki quickly turned toward the makeup selection.
あそこ行くよ。
Are you going to do her makeup? Ah, this mean. It was almost like the date we went on before. As expected, before I could say anything, he quickly scooped up some makeup and pointed to a seat in the corner.
そこ座って。
Okay, thank you. As soon as I sat down, Ryuki removed the makeup I was wearing and rubbed down my face with the lotion he just bought. Ah, this feels nice. I couldn't hide my smile as the lotion slowly went to work on my tired skin. I heard an annoyed sigh above me.
笑わないの。
Stop smiling. Oh, sorry.
ほら、じっとして。
I love their interactions so much. They're so adorable. I have a feeling that Ryuki's going to be one of my top favorite, but we'll see. He gently massaged my skin, then applied some lip balm. He next moved to applying the makeup. His fingers caressed the counters of my face. Counters? What does that mean? He took a bit of makeup on his pinky and applied it carefully, then used a small spatula to remove the excess bits. Actually, I think I've seen one of those before. I definitely wouldn't be able to do something like this for myself. I decided he must be a professional level makeup artist too. Ryuki, do you do this kind of thing for other people a lot?
まさか、ほとんどしないよ。
Almost never. Which means he pays you special attention. Not really.
うちの新作撮影の時にメンズモデルのメイクをすることはあるけど、基本的にはプロのメイクアップアーティストにお願いするし。
You should feel special. So it's rare for you to do makeup for women like this.
そうだね。今までしたことがあるのはあんただけ。うちはレディース扱わないから。
I can't get over how adorable this is. And despite that he could do makeup this well without breaking a sweat, it must come from his obsession with colors and shapes. And shapes. Who said he was obsessed with shapes? Even without direct experience, he must see my face as a canvas that he can shape and color according to his vision. Well then, thank you for making an exception for me.
知人の顔が微妙なのは僕も困るから。
Oh, whatever. You just want her to look beautiful. Ah. He's just as rude as ever, but calling him as someone he knows makes up for it, I guess. You're in the friend stage. Just a little bit more, you're going to be romantic stage. So you'd say I'm an acquaintance then, right? I recalled him saying something about someone needing to be B-rank before he'd even consider them a casual acquaintance. Last time he said I was barely a 55 and it was only borderline acceptance for him to even work with me, which means I'm getting better. Ryuki looked at me nonchalantly, but I was sure he noticed that my eyes were wide with glee.
僕がパラサイトハウスで肌と髪のお手入れを伝授したでしょ。それをあんたは今も維持してる。だからだよ。
Which is why you look better now. You're more attractive. I'll take that as a compliment.
喜ばないで。もっと努力すれば、あと5は偏差値上がるんだから。
Stop smiling. Right. So if I work just a little harder, he might actually consider me his friend. That's easier said than done, of course, since his standards are so insanely high. The physical appearance really is everything to you, huh?
当然でしょ。汚いものなんて視界に入れたくもない。
Oh my goodness. That's the exact attitude I was never able to get rid of during Parasite House. I was hoping maybe he changed a little bit at least, but then again, that's the exact same attitude that's helped him become such an amazing designer. So I'm Cupid, so all I really want for him is to find true love. Does he really not have anyone else in his life that he likes enough to do their makeup? He said he doesn't want someone he knows to look off and that I'm the only girl he's done makeup for, which would mean he doesn't know anyone else he thinks is worthy of having him do their makeup. So either he just doesn't know any other women or none of the women he knows meet his stringent requirements. I wonder if there are any really beautiful women in his life. That one employee at his store was a guy, so my cupidly curiosity was getting the better of me. I had to know more about the other people in his life. Ryuki.
ほら、じっとして。次は唇塗るから。
Oh, are we going to get a CG of you doing her lipstick? He took hold of my chin to keep my face still, then swept a thin brush across my lips. A serious face and stern eyes made me let out a sigh of envy. Envy. Ryuki's skin is so beautiful. It's to be expected from a glamour parasite. He holds himself to the same high standard. Yeah, he's making you look at him. And you're just struck by how beautiful he is.
やっぱりあんたにはこの色が似合うね。このリップ使えばもっと可愛くなるんだから普段から気をつけなよ。
Oh, he used the word cuter. Huh? It makes you look cuter. Did he just say cuter? The word made me gasp a bit and hold my breath. I never expected to hear that word from him. I know, it's not just your grade that went up, now you're cute. Trying to think of it, I don't think Ryuki has ever given me any kind of direct compliment about my looks before. All he ever says was that I can all he ever says is what I can do to look better, or how I just need to take better care of myself. Like how I need moisturizing sprays, or I need to improve my hair and skin. Sure, the way he talks and acts can be pretty mean, but as his advisor, I've had to speak up about it more than once. But his sense of beauty really is remarkable, so he is simply unable to accept others who aren't living up to their potential. Of course, the way he expresses himself is so rough, I'm sure it's hard for other people to see his point of view. While I was lost in thought, Ryuki stepped back from me. He looked over my face carefully, then nodded in satisfaction.
はい、おしまい。これで偏差値は2ぐらい上がったんじゃない？
A tiny bit better. Thank you, Ryuki.
仕事の時はこれ使って。
You look cute now. He took all the makeup he'd bought and put everything into a paper bag. Oh, here, let me.
あげるよ。別に大した金額じゃない。
He likes dressing you up. It's free. All that stuff wasn't cheap.
それに、あんたにはヨガに付き合ってもらったし、今も世話になったから。
That was the most adorable thing he's ever said. Not the words, but just the way he said it. He's so unsure of himself, is so shy. Let's see. He's a tsundere, right? That's what I'm guessing. Cool on the outside, cute on the inside. Or is he the cool guy? I can never figure out. There's like this similarity between kudere and tsundere that I'm not sure which falls into which. Like I feel like personality-wise they're similar, like almost too much similar for me to tell the difference between them. Like I know what it means, but recognizing it is another thing. Anyway, Ryuki mumbled with a hint of embarrassment in his voice as he handed me the bag.
あんたがいて助かった。だからありがとう。
Wow. Ryuki saying thank you, showing appreciation for my help. I was so happy I couldn't stop myself from taking the bag from him. And you really haven't done that much for him, so I'm thinking I think he's talking about more emotionally, not physically, but are you opening up his perspective a bit? Well, if you say so, thank you, Ryuki.
別に僕が気に入らなかっただけだから。
Whatever. He really is strict when it comes to looks. Whatever, that's just his cover-up story. It really is because that you look cute in it. So, tsundere. That's what I'm guessing. Sure, the world is filled with things he hates looking at. I wonder how he keeps from going crazy. Alright, I guess that's why he says he refuses to acknowledge anything that doesn't meet his standards. At first I thought that was a horrible thing to say, but obviously he can't go around putting makeup on everyone he sees. I wonder what the world would look like through his eyes. I pondered that a bit as we left the boutique. I hope that one day maybe I could imagine such a thing. But then, as soon as we were outside, Ryuki froze.
何あれ
What is it? I looked at Ryuki and saw him staring at the entrance to Cupid Corp. His face was twisted with disgust.
あそこらへんくすんでる。一体何
Like Catherine. Huh? I glanced to where he was pointing and then quickly pushed his hand down. He was pointing at all the Cupid Corp members who were arriving for the matchmaking party. Shh, those are our clients.
はあ客あの 888E7E が
Even that haze over there. Hold on, I gotta figure out which one that one is now. New. You must really hate this color. It's kind of funny. It's like a greenish gray. Well, I say greenish gray because it's on the green side, and then it's just gray. So there you go. So that's the color he sees right there. I took out my phone to see what color that was. It was listed as tea leaf mouse, a kind of grayish pale green color. Yeah, that's a client too.
入会してた時も思ってたけど、あんななりで相手を見つけられるわけないじゃないか。せめて最低限の努力をしてから来たらどうなの
Yeah, but if all you see is hazes, you don't actually know what they look like, right?
やっぱり婚活なんてバカバカしい。興味持つんじゃなかった。僕はもう行くよ。
Bye. Ryuki let out an exasperated sigh before storming off. But just left me standing there alone with a bag of makeup in my hands. I sure hope none of our clients heard his outburst. I stole a glance back at the entrance, but when I saw that nobody was looking in my direction, I let out a sigh of relief. I can't believe he just tore into them like that. Of course, what he said was harsh, but I had to admit he had a point. Couples at these parties of ours did tend to form up in general order of attractiveness. None of them were as strict as Ryuki, but it's true that it's easier to find a partner if you take care of yourself. Most people on Lost Work have a good sense of fashion, but a lot of people aren't used to keeping up with the latest trends or just don't care in the first place. I do have a bit of experience with that as an advisor, but I've never really had to give advice on that kind of thing specifically. I'm more focused on helping people understand how to change their attitude or perspective, making them broaden their horizons. If I could also give them professional advice on their appearance, I'd be the best Cupid Corp advisor for sure. I looked at my new bag of makeup and Ryuki's face reappeared in my mind. That settles it. I should come up with a new dating plan that specifically incorporates fashion. I may not be an expert, but plenty of other people are. All I have to do is hire one and put on a seminar. I'm sure some of my clients would love to become more familiar with the world of fashion too. This will help lots of people find their perfect partner, I'm sure of it. Okay, no time like the present to get started. I decided to write up a plan as soon as I got home. I rushed back, delighted with the wonderful idea I just come up with. Sounds like that's the end of that section. Yep. Is there a worse color than natto? That's funny. So that's where we're stopping here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one. It was really funny. I think the whole route's probably going to be like this. So lots of entertainment ahead with Ryuki and his colors. But yeah, I would really like to keep reading, but I don't like editing 2-hour videos. We're going to stop here, and it's almost 1, so I want to try to get this out tonight. Unlike 2 days ago where I just had to go to bed because it was already too late. But yeah, drop a thumbs up down below and or subscribe if you want to see more of Cupid Parasite, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.